Previously on the Crenshaw Corner. And I say that to say...
You think I should?
Actually, I don't. I've never expected you to read my mind. You have actually genuinely gotten upset with me for not having the ability to not be telepathic, to read your mind. And you have gotten upset with me.
I've never got upset with you. I just felt like, hey, bruh.
Do you not realize how flawed that logic is?
My hey, bruh.
But anyway.
God, carry on, my brother.
Digress.
Carry on, my brother.
But the one things we cannot do is mind read, and therefore the hints that you be dropping, and swear in your mind
that was initiation.
That you clear.
I was initiating.
Just because you lay in the bed and tooped your booty towards somebody,
I cannot.
Don't mean that we understand that mean it's an all go.
It's an all go.
Well, hello there, family.
What's up?
I didn't see you there.
Hi.
And welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That's me, y'all.
The apple of my eye.
Yes, I am.
The wind beneath my wings.
You went up.
Did I? Is that what that was?
Yeah, you went up. I was wind.
You sounded like something. I don't know if it was wind or not.
It was a windy day.
You sounded like wind. Never mind. I was going to say you sounded like wind from the other end, but we ain't going to get into that right now. That's a little crude.
Hater.
The rib that completes me.
As you can see, he's completed, people. He's completed.
The dock to my Wyatt.
Is this an old Western?
Somewhat, sort of. It's actually, it has one of the coldest movie lines
Gunsmoke
ever. Did I say Marshall Dillon?
I don't even know. I just said, I don't even know who the heck Marshall Dillon is. So I don't know
Gunsmoke.
Okay, well, Gunsmoke.
The main character in Gunsmoke was Marshall Dillon. Did I say Marshall Dillon? No.
Gunsmoke.
I said the dock to my Wyatt, one of the coldest movie lines ever.
Wyatt?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Wyatt?
I just said the dock to my Wyatt.
I thought maybe the name of it was Wyatt. Okay, because you saying that line ain't going to do nothing for me because I don't know what it is.
His family had, it was actually their actual character. They're actually people. It wasn't just a movie. His family had one of the greatest battles in American history.
I will say so.
It was at the OK Corral. Did you not study American history?
Nah, I wasn't good there. I wasn't good in that subject. Baby, who we talking about?
Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, Tombstone.
Why would I know that?
Why wouldn't you? It's only one of the greatest American classics of ever. No, it actually is.
To you.
Actually, if you look it up, it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the top 50 movies of all time.
Was it in black and white?
No, it wasn't. It was in color, man.
Since I only watches that stuff kind of with my grandparents, and
What
I
are
only
you
did it in black
talking
and white,
about?
so I don't know them. They're in color. Don't know.
I know you was born in 32, but come on, bruh.
Nope. Grandparents watch black
I'm
and
saying
white.
Doc Holliday played by Val Kilmer.
And this was Cowboys?
Doc Holliday played by Val Kilmer.
So he not,
Wyatt Earp played by Kurt Russell.
So not a cowboy?
One of his brothers was Sam Elliott.
But is he a cowboy?
I mean, it was set in the Westerns.
Okay, then if it's not black and white, I watch it with my grandparents. If it's in color, I don't know it. So if it's in color, no. Black and white, like Lone Ranger, Gunsmoke, Hee Haw.
Hee Haw wasn't a Western.
But it was a Western show.
You gonna tell people your name? Or are you gonna introduce yourself to the people?
I don't know now because I'm still back on what you just said to me. Anyway, what's going on, guys? What is going on? I am Angela Crenshaw, guys. What is going on? And could somebody please reach out to me and tell me if you know what he was talking about? That's all. I'm just asking.
That's my
people.
wife, family.
I am your wife.
Can you do me a favor though? And I hate we have to do this on the public airways, on Airgo's internet.
What you want?
But could you adjust your mic, please?
And this is my mic is. I mean, where else should it go?
Turn it.
Turn it where?
Into you.
But why though?
Because you sound better.
I sound good regardless, baby.
You sounded muffled. Why do I have to do this on public airways? I come before Al Gore's internet, and this is what I have to do every time.
Listen, I'm just saying that people,
family.
I'm pretty sure. Also, let me know if I sounded proper or okay from the beginning.
No, you didn't. You sounded muffled. You sounded far away.
You sure it wasn't your headset?
The clarity is so much better now. Here's what kills me about people, and we're going to get into the show, family, because we got some guests that I really want to talk to.
We do.
But sometimes we got to just air public. We got it publicly. We just got to put family business. I'm sick of you. I'm sick. I'm right sick of you. I'm gonna tell you why.
But first of all, I don't think that you're telling our business because you say this every week. But
I don't say it every week. I'm loving to you.
Every other week.
I'm loving to you. I'm very loving. I'm very loving.
You heard that noise?
But right now, I'm sick of you. And I'm gonna tell you why. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say I'm sick of you per se.
Okay.
I'm sick of people of your ilk. Is what I'm sick of your ilk.
My ilk.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay. Go.
The peoples that don't take the time to learn a craft,
but they tell those people what to do.
Don't put the hard work and effort into learning how to do something, but they been the main ones want to tell somebody how to do it. You ain't never built a house, but you want to tell a carpenter where the wood go.
Are you done?
I think I am.
So are you saying I don't do the productions, but I be telling you what to do?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly like they doing charades right here. That's you. Bingo.
First of all, I do productions.
What part?
I take the mics off the stands. Okay.
That's my wife, family. That's my wife.
That's part of
family. However you listening,
I'm part of the production team. We tear it up and we build it down.
We thank you for listening. Family, we thank you for listening. However you're listening,
guys.
Whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's Google Podcasts, whether it's iHeartRadio, on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com.
Yes.
We thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
For our new family members, welcome. This is what you get. Sometimes my wife don't know what she's doing, but I keep it because our last name is Crenshaw.
Thank you guys for showing up.
And it kind of goes with the aesthetic of the show.
Yes. Thank you guys for showing up for us. And if you're a new listener, we appreciate you so much. We don't know how you got here, but whoever told you, we love them.
We appreciate you.
We love you. So thank you so much. And we'll see you the next week because I know you're coming back. I feel it. I feel like you're coming back.
For our returning family members.
What's up, returners?
You know how we feel about you.
Hi, guys.
We love you so much. We thank you for listening. We thank you for putting up with what a certain person on this podcast tries to bring you.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
The way y'all love Sanchez is amazing. I
family,
mean, like how
you overlook a lot, and we appreciate that, family.
We do.
We really do.
You do.
And family, as always, welcome to the cookout. Make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can wet bag.
Take something with you.
So you can take something with you. I say that because we're going into cookout season. So it's getting there. So we're close enough to cookout season that I can say that again to the family.
Why you did a disclaimer?
Because I already knew what you were going to say.
We weren't supposed to be doing it yet. We do that in the
summertime. Right. Like, who is cooking out right now? Well, people cook out all year round.
Yes, they do.
So never mind.
Thank you very much.
And by the way, because we love you guys, just to remind you that the time is changing. Time is changing, people.
Yeah, well, for our listeners, depend on when you're listening to this.
Exactly, true.
Your time may have already changed.
Right.
That's why we don't do stuff like that on the air, because you timestamp stuff and you never know when it's going to be released.
But that's why you're the disclaimer man. You disclaimed.
This is what I'm going to mute your mic. And I'm telling you, I'm going to recast you. It's going to be like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Aunt Viv gonna go upstairs and a whole new version gonna come down.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Listen, I'm trying to help the family.
Keep playing with me.
I'm just trying to help the family. Help the family.
I will get me a Rebecca and put Crenshaw on her last name and sit in that chair. Okay.
Poor little Rebecca. Chair break every time she's sitting there, hair falling out. She thinks she got shaving cream and it's not. Burning her skin. I mean, you do whatever you need to do.
Family, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
I thought you were still talking about Rebecca.
Which means we can be found on the socials.
Are we finished with Rebecca?
We're on Instagram. Great, we're on Facebook. Yes. We're on TikTok. Yes. We're on YouTube. All under the Crenshaw Corner.
We are, guys.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Yes. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Now, family, we have guests.
Which you wouldn't believe because I don't know what just happened, but
you don't know how to act in public sometimes.
They just looking at us. Bless their heart. Bless them.
Family. We have family.
Family, we have family.
Family, we have family.
We have family. We do have family.
This was not my idea.
Yes.
To be honest, I have no idea how this conversation is going to go.
Yes.
I am surrounded by a bunch of women.
Yep.
Some of them a little bitter. So I would probably say it's 3 of them. So I would probably say 2/3 of them is a little bitter. So I don't really know how this is going to go. And unfortunately, the 2 bitter ones are the ones that live with me. The ones that share my last name. So I'm not really sure how this particular conversation gonna go.
Hater.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to blink real hard. I'm going to blink hard enough to be able to hear it through the airwaves if I need help.
You want them to hear your lashes?
I'm just saying.
First of all, family, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but let me explain something to you. Morgan's back.
Hi, guys.
She's back. My baby is back. And so I am super excited because y'all always like, where's Morgan? Morgan got all this perspective. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
But she
They
does.
just love Morgan.
She does. She has a great
I'm
perspective.
lovable. I'm easy to love. I'm a joy to be around. I keep telling you this and you just don't believe it.
Come on.
The humility.
But the public has spoken and they have said that I am a joy to have in your life. So just remember that next time,
The
okay?
humility. I taught you to. Somebody taught you to be so humble in life.
I wonder who that was. It wasn't somebody that had the name Crenshaw because I know sometimes we questionable. I'm telling you that now.
I'm just saying. So, guys, she is back and we brought somebody with her. We want to have a real conversation because what happens is a lot of times people say that when you're both single together as friends and one gets another significant other, that the relationship change or it becomes estranged or it becomes difficult or, they're making the person choose me over.
Can we actually have the second person introduce themselves?
Yeah, but wait one second.
Okay.
Can I do my part?
I'm saying, I don't know. Can you?
Can you? Thank you very much. So people say that this is a difficult situation. You can't do it. You can't be together, or the significant other doesn't like the other person. So what I wanted to do was we want to bust some myths today. So what I asked was that Morgan and her best friend, who's about to introduce herself, would come and let's really talk about it. Let's get deep into it and see how you handle that. So first of all, Morgan, introduce your best friend.
She's been here before.
Yes,
so I
she
brought her
has.
back. She said she had fun the last time, so I had to bring her back. This is my sister from another mister. We've been friends since freshman year of high school, and we are 25. So that should tell you we've been in this game for a long time.
Yes.
So, best friend, tell us your name.
Hello. I am Ajah.
Hi.
Not like the continent, AJAH.
She just had to put that out there.
Right.
Get it right.
Tell them spell your name right, sis.
Get that name
Get
right,
that
baby.
name right.
Get that name right.
But yes, I just want to speak on who is loving you, Morgan, on this podcast.
Everybody. What do you mean?
I'm very confused.
What do you mean?
I'm very confused.
Everybody.
They do not know you.
Don't join them. Jump ship, sis. Jump ship.
I'm trapped.
Trapped. You ain't trapped.
Help me.
You in here lovingly. Can you tell we've been friends for a long time, guys?
Yes.
Too long. It's honestly too long to count sometimes.
So what's the years we looking at if we're looking at it?
A decade.
Yeah.
We started being friends at 15, freshman year of high school. And like I said, we're 25 going on 26 this year. We're old. Sis.
You're going on 26.
You don't turn 26 this year?
I mean,
you don't turn 20. We're born the same year?
In my mind.
97.
In my mind, I'm always 21.
Wow.
COVID took some years.
Baby, your body's not going to tell you it's 21. It's going to start breaking down soon. Says the one. I just want to let you know, this girl carries Tums,
Why you gotta put me out there?
ibuprofen, and antacid with her in her bag to the club.
Every day.
Why you putting her business in the
Not
street,
ashamed.
She said, and not ashamed.
Not ashamed.
Because she rude. So I just want to put her business out there.
When you need some ibuprofen, don't look at me.
And I will be. And I will, because I've done it before. But it's the Tums and antacid.
Listen.
Well,
tell me you don't get acid reflux when you're drinking. Just tell me.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Can I say
Tell
one
me.
thing though? Just one thing, and y'all can continue this conversation. When you got to take antacids with you to the club, at that point you've aged out of the club.
Right?
You need to be doing brunch at that point.
With some mimosas, and that's it.
You need to be doing
brunch, though.
You need to be doing early lunch dates.
Right, exactly.
At that point,
Y'all too old for it.
You too old when you got the antacids in your purse.
Yes.
That you got to take before you walk into the club.
I blame my father. He gave me his acid reflux.
that's
Honestly,
wrong.
he has an ulcer.
As a gift?
I'm just waiting for the ulcer to come at this point.
He gave it to you as a gift. He gave it to you as a gift.
He was like, "I bless you with this.
This is
Don't
yours.
blame him.
yours.
He wrapped it up pretty,
This
too,
is
with a
yours.
nice bow.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
Not okay. So we went to high school together.
Yes.
And we went where else together?
To college.
We
together.
went to college
together.
We went to
ECU
college.
Pirates.
ECU.
Arg.
Don't do that again.
Arg.
Did you
Don't do
really
it again.
just?
Did you
arg?
just arg?
Please
I
don't.
had to.
No, you didn't.
I
You
did.
didn't.
I'm sorry. And we've given a lot of money to that particular university, but it's crazy. That's so lame. when you're fighting, when you in the midst of a battle in football or basketball, baseball, whatever sports y'all play, and they like say the battle cry, and you like arg.
No, listen.
What is that?
It felt so much better in the moment,
when you were in it.
Does it
When
really?
you were in it, and they were like, first
they would
down,
play
first
the-
down, arg.
so good. Right before the games they would play like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, they would always play Pirates of the Caribbean, and then we always played Living on a Prayer in the fourth quarter. Yes. It was the best.
I mean, a lot of schools do that. Though.
I know what it is.
We're older, baby.
It's not even that. I know what it is.
We're older, baby.
The babies are drunk before the game. The student section drunk before the game.
Because there's no way.
You weren't wrong.
No.
So that makes
9
sense.
o'clock in the morning.
If the game is at 12, we was pre-gaming at 9 o'clock. I just want to be honest. Yeah. At 9 o'clock, we had at least 2 seltzers and a beer in our hand, and we was ready to go. And then we took a nap, and then we went out that night.
Because that is the only way.
That they think that
you're
was
on
cool.
a football field. You about to kick off. And you're like, we're going into battle. We're going. Arg.
It was the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever.
If we have any pirates out there, please explain.
Right. Please explain. Go in the comments, interact, and let them know that ECU went hard for football games.
Yeah.
And y'all should know. Y'all went to a couple, so y'all understood it.
Yeah, but I never understood the arg.
There's
nothing.
But y'all did it with us.
No, I never did it with you guys. I wore the colors. I wore colors because it was fashionable, but I didn't do the arg.
There is nothing intimidating. If a grown man coming to me before a fight and be like, yo, we about to do this, arg. What is that?
You know what?
Beat up.
Finish introducing the topic. I'm done.
I'm just saying.
He beat up.
Yeah, family, this is going to be a different episode, so deal with it. We going left.
Sure.
Before we get into it, though.
Yes.
For the family who is not abreast of the history, because like you said, Ajah's been on the show before. She's a veteran to this. So, but just briefly, how did you guys become friends? How did you guys meet? Because in honesty, I mean, there's some similarities, but there's a lot of differences between you two.
Yeah.
Some would say the two of you are pretty much polar opposites.
Yeah.
So how did you, just briefly, if whoever wants to explain, just how did you guys meet? How did you guys even become friends? And then how did a friendship last almost over a decade?
Crazily enough, I was thinking about this the other day when I was thinking about our episode. So we were in French 2 in freshman year, and we were the only 2 freshmen. We were the only 2 freshmen because we took French in middle school. So they just, we carried over high school credits. So they automatically put us in French 2. So because we were the only 2, I feel like one day we kind of just got thrown together in a group.
Yeah, remember she pushed all the desks together and we're sitting in front of each other.
Because we were as the freshmen, we were surrounded by like sophomores, juniors. We were a little timid. We were a little intimidated.
Oh, no, they were mostly seniors.
Yeah, so we sat in the front because we were like, we just gonna sit here and not talk to nobody. And it's the first day of high school, and it was
scary, especially for me because I had just moved here from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right, like
so I knew no one.
So we pushed our desks together and we ended up sitting next to each other. And for the first couple of months that this was happening, we kind of just were French friends. Like we were like, you're a freshman, I'm a freshman too, cool. And then we started talking about interests, and we're both theater geeks, and we love music and love reading, and we're very nerdy people. You wouldn't know that. No, I'm lying. You would know that if you looked at us and talked to us for long periods of time. And then we realized we're horror movie buffs too.
Oh,
we love scary movies. Yeah. And they kind of just developed from there. And I think that was just history.
What did we bond off of? Was it Charmed or Supernatural? It was like one show where we were like,
it was probably Supernatural, because Supernatural was still on.
God, you watched that?
Right. You was like, what? Which was your favorite? So I think that's what we started. And then since then it was just, that was it, really. We were out of our friend group, I think we're the only 2 who can really put up with each other, because we've known each other the longest, where it's like, okay, some days we just need our space, or it's just you learn each other after a while. And we I don't even think we decided to go to college together. It just so happened.
Yeah, because we talked about it. Education program, and at the time I wanted to be a nurse.
Right, so we talked about it, and you were like, oh, you got an ECU? Me too. But we knew from jump we could never live together.
Right.
Oh wow.
We knew like from high school, we were like, we could never live together. And then it just so happened we ended up on the same building, on the same floor, like 4 rooms around each other. So you're like, you're on the 7th floor? Me too. So like when we moved in, I remember when we moved in, Ajah came to dinner with us. And then the next day I went to dinner with her parents. And then college, it was just
on and popping.
Was on and popping, right. I mean, of course your best friends have their moments, but we've rocked a little bit, but we've never like fell apart. Yeah. So, every relationship has your little rocky moment. You have, hills and valleys and everything. So our hill was low, but our valley's been high since then.
Yeah. So Ajah, what was your thoughts when you met Morgan? That she was a geek, she was a nerd, or what?
Be nice.
Be honest.
Be honest.
This is not nice. No, she was loud.
Go ahead.
She was so loud. And like, I'm very, very quiet, very to myself until you get to know me. But for somebody to be that loud and like brand spanking new, I was like, yo, what is this girl's problem? Like, light skin, red hair, glasses. I'm like,
and loud.
Just loud. I'm like, golly, somebody give this girl a muzzle. But
is it true?
We've talked about this before.
So
this is not hurt my feelings.
She thought I was a snob.
I did. Really? I thought she was stuck up and snobby.
Why? Because she was quiet?
It was just because she was new, she kind of guarded herself.
Yeah.
If you don't know Ajah, she's very guarded. Even to this day, like me and her boyfriend can break down her guards, but if you don't know her, you're still gonna think like she can be stuck up because she's not gonna really like give you her energy.
Yeah.
Basically, I feel like you have to deserve her energy. She's very reserved like that. So. Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I was me. I've always been me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yes. And I was looking at her and I was like, oh, she was just stuck up. She's so stuck up. Like, why is she like that? And then I started talking to her and I was like, oh, okay. Like, she's nice. Like,
she's aight.
She's aight. I guess. But yeah, when I first met her, I was like, this might not be the one. Because like Daddy said, we are polar opposites.
Yeah.
Until you get to know us. And then you're like, oh no, like y'all both have cracker energy? Like, that's real interesting sometimes. And then people be looking at us like, are y'all okay? And I'm like, nah, this is us. This is just normal.
So y'all each allowed yourselves to come out of your shell for each other and really show exactly who you are. Versus like you came out of your garden and she's like, I'm loud. This is where I am. You have to accept it. And you're like, I get it now. I can do this. You know what? She can be permission to be loud and she gives you permission to be quiet.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's the cool part about it. So then you get into the dating scene.
Well, the dating scene, but let's get into, because we're all adults. So not so much as the casual, because of course there's people in and out. But once one decided to become like really serious, like this is a real adult relationship. Like, because, you know, the whole purpose of this conversation, because one of you are in a whole adult relationship out here and one of you not. So how do we deal? How do we deal with that?
From my perspective, it definitely was hard. It was hard for me because she was that one person that I knew was always going to be there. And then someone came and started taking her time away. And I had to be okay with that. And I had to, at first, I would say, honestly, for like the first year, I was like, what do you mean you don't have time for me? Wait, where are you going? Oh, you already saw that movie without me? We said we were going to go. Oh, you already went to the restaurant? I'm the one who told you about the restaurant. Now you done took him. How you going to do that?
Not him.
Him.
He didn't even have a name?
Noah. His name is Noah, guys. But I will say one thing, and I tell Ajah all the time, when we hit that hill that we went through it in college, and it was almost about a year, we kind of just took a break from each other. And in that time, that's when Noah started introducing himself to the scene for Ajah. And that was in the time when they started kind of like, we like each other? Do we like each other? Should we do this? And I wasn't a part of that. So when I came in, he was already there. So it was something that I had to get used to. But because we just had that hill, I bunkered down. I was like, all right, whatever. Because I'm not going to lose her again. I'm not going to lose my friend again. And we've talked about it now, whereas like if we didn't have that moment where we took a break, I would not have been as okay. I think we would have butt heads a lot more. And I don't care if you say we like butt heads over Noah, but like I wouldn't have been as understanding, because when we took that time, she had her friend group and I had my own friend group. We kind of separated. I mean, until this day, we still have separate friends. I think as you should, as best friends, you should have your core, and then you have other people that you spend other time with. So that was just one of the things I was like, I had to get used to someone else taking her time. But once I had free time, I was like, cool, I'll fill this time with other people. Like I'll go find someone else to hang out with, or maybe I'll take myself or whatever. I'm still getting used to the take myself part. So we still getting there. But
who pays when you take yourself? Do you go Dutch? Do you split it 50-50?
No, it's Dutch. It's definitely Dutch.
Okay, cool.
You pay for you.
Yeah, I pay for me.
So you the only one at the table.
Yeah, she don't like that all the time, you know, because that's all I got. Sometimes she like to be treated, but the only person who could treat her at the moment is herself. So, you know, but yeah, I think that was for me. So I've never asked Ajah how she felt during that time. But I guess, so you take it away. Like, how did you feel during that time when you first got in a relationship, trying to balance like having friends and a boyfriend?
Well, when me and Noah first got together, it was a struggle. It was not good. Mainly because we were really good friends. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the friends that I had grown attached to when me and Morgan were going through our little rough patch. And I will never forget. This man told me he liked me on my birthday. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. I was like,
you just gonna tell a man, no, you don't feel what you feel.
I was like, you don't like me. Mm-hmm. This isn't happening. Right. And he was like, that's okay. We're gonna be together. I'm just gonna buy my time. I was like, you do that.
Because I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, I was like, you do that because we're just gonna be friends. And so during that whole saga was when me and Morgan were kind of trying to find our way back to each other. But in the beginning of our relationship, our friends were in our business a lot. And it was definitely our own fault because we were transitioning from being friends to being in a relationship, so we didn't know how to separate the two. So I was kind of going through that whole thing, and I think that's why I didn't notice. Morgan was like, hey, I'm here. You can come to me. And so it took me a while to really figure out how to separate the two. And to come to Morgan when I could, because we were still in the midst of all of that. We were still trying to get back to our normal. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it wasn't so much I have to split my time between my best friend and my boyfriend, because I had to figure out how to even be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So my mind wasn't so much on Morgan. It was more so I've never been in a relationship, and all of a sudden I'm in this serious relationship. Yeah. And he had never really been in a serious relationship either. So there were things I was expecting out of him that he wasn't giving me. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be doing this? And I'm like, yeah. And so in the midst of all of that, I'm just I'm going to be totally honest. I wasn't even thinking about trying to split my time between him and Morgan. Mm-hmm. It was when I see Morgan, I see Morgan. And also, we were all friends with each other, so we would still see each other, but I'm sitting here going through arguments with him in my bedroom, and everybody's just in the living room are we going out? What are we doing? And so it was growing pains really for us, me and Noah, from the beginning. It was hard. And so I was more so focused on that than I was on trying to include my best friend in this. Right. And so it took a while. One main thing was we had to learn how to separate our relationship from our friends. Mm-hmm. And ever since we've done that, we've been solid. Yeah. If we get into an argument, I'm not the type of girl I need to talk to my girlfriends about this. We figure that out between us. Right. I don't really talk much about my relationship at all with my friends. Mm-hmm. And I find that that's best because friends got a lot of opinions. Yeah. And they're protective. Yeah. And so when you are constantly talking down about your relationship or about your man, mm-hmm. they only get that perspective. Right. They don't see the good. They're like, well, girl, you just told me that he did this and this and this, and you still with him? Right. And so my mom had really tried to tell me that from the beginning. She was like, when you do get into a relationship, keep that to yourself. Your mm-hmm. friends don't have to know everything that's going on. Right. If you want to share, that's fine. But they don't have to be there for every moment. Mm-hmm. And so it took a solid year and a half for me to really get that and be able to split my time between Noah and between Morgan mm-hmm. and my other friends. Right. And it's been working so far.
Yeah. I think one of the most important things that you just said where you're going to free a lot of friends up is when you said, it wasn't intentionally, but I was so focused on my relationship that I was not focusing on my friend. It wasn't intentional, but I had never done this before, mm-hmm. right? And so it wasn't like I was ignoring my friend. I didn't even know I was ignoring my friend because I was so busy trying to set the standards in this relationship. And I think that a lot of times if young people hear that and girlfriends hear that, they can respect it a little bit better mm-hmm. because at that point, when you hear that, now you understand it. When she said that, what did you feel?
I don't think it was, like I said, I don't think it was ever intentional, but I did feel some type of way. I think I felt a little not left out, but I'm like, well, dang, like I can't even just get a dinner. Like, goodness. And I think something that you used to do that I don't think you've realized, and I think we have never talked about it. We might have had to. It was always, well, hey, Noah's coming, or hey, I'm going out with Noah, come with us, or hey, can I bring Noah? And for a while I'm like, sure. And then I don't know if you've realized it or you've cut back on doing that. We're just like, no, it's just gonna just be us. Or now you ask. That was something that you didn't do at the beginning. It was just Noah's coming. I'm like, I didn't ask Noah, I asked you. I didn't know it was not a part of this. Is our thing. So I think like that might have been something that I should have brought up. I mean, years ago, but it was something that you told me. I'm sorry. Something that you told me a long time ago was give your friends grace. Give your friends grace and space when they are in those relationships, because my time is coming. So when my time comes and they looking at me like, girl, where you at? Where is you? I can never get a hold of you. You can look back and be like, well, baby, I gave you years, and I'm so. I think that's one thing that I had to learn, is to just give you grace when certain things happen or you said certain things. And I'm like, that's her man. I can't tell her what her to do with her man. Just call me later. Or cool, we'll try next week. Or let me know, if you got some time. So once I started doing that, I started filling my time with other things. If I asked you out and you're like, hey, I'm going with Noah, I said, cool, let me text somebody else. Or let me just hang out with whatever. Or maybe I just, we'll try it again next week. So that is something I had to learn, so I didn't get my feelings hurt. Because I feel like it's so easy as the single friend to feel like that single friend. But one thing that you also never, that you did well is, if you were going out with Noah, you would ask like, hey, do you want to go? Or, hey, like, I know we had plans, but like Noah said he wants to, like I said, you got better at it. Hey, Noah wants to join. Is that okay? Or like, hey, Noah's going to meet us here, or you would plan it after. Noah's going to come pick me up. We're going to hang out for this amount of time. So once I got used to that, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I still got some time, but I think as we got older, we just started, finding our own niche, finding our own things separately, where we could still come together and have our moments and have our days. And then we're like, cool, see you next time. We've gotten older, but I definitely said during that first year, because I was so focused on not losing her again, whatever, I just took it. I just took whatever. It was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna rock the boat. I'm cool. All right, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, that's fine. Like, whenever she wants to talk to me. But then that you have taught me with your relationship with Noah, that when I get in my relationship, to do the same thing. Because that is one thing I've talked to them about. I commend you on that. Yeah. Where and I've gotten to the point. I don't even ask you about Noah. If you want to say something about Noah, like, oh, me and Noah just are doing this. All I ask, and what you've been doing, is I want to be there for your big things. And that's I mean, as your best friend, that's engagements, marriage, kids, God, mom, maid of honor.
Put that out there now.
Because she keep playing with me, and she know what I'm talking about.
I play with her. I always say, you're gonna be the best bridesmaid ever.
She said co-maid of honor. Who is the? I have put in the time, energy, love, and respect in this relationship.
I want what I want.
What I deserve.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought that up, because let's fast forward a little bit. So now we're 4 years?
5, and the 29th of this month.
So 5 years into a relationship, and we're at that stage where we're talking about the next levels and taking it to in marriage and things of that nature. So how, with that being said, because your relationship with your significant other has evolved, so how has that evolvement changed this relationship? Has it changed this relationship, or how do we now view this relationship that we know that your primary, when I say this, I'm not being disrespectful, but your primary relationship is now going to, taking on last names, building a family, doing those things. So how has this relationship evolved?
I think right now, and I think Morgan would agree, we are both so busy. Like, we have been transitioning so much, and I try, like, Morgan knows pretty much the next step for me and Noah is moving in together. And we kind of already talked about, marriage and kids, or lack thereof. I'm sorry. I have a 5-year-old sister, and she's, I like to say, the best birth control ever, because kids are not happening. And Noah's like, Noah works with kids, so he's like, that is okay with me. But we are both going through really big transitions in our lives right now. And what we do is we don't talk every day, like at all. But when it comes to the big things, we make sure to tell each other what's going on. You know, like if Morgan's on my mind, I make sure to text her in that moment, like, hey, I'm checking in. How are you? What's going on? Like when Morgan's going through her big transition, she's like, hey, I'm not ready to talk about it right now, but I'm going through a transition. I just want to let you know this is where I'm at. And so we've been good about making sure that we've stayed in each other's lives while we're both just literally so busy. Like the schedules are insane. But we have been able to carve out the time where we're like, hey, I'm busy this day, this day, this day, this day, but this day, are you free? And I'm like, yes, I am. I am free. We can hang out. And so we've been pretty good about that for the past couple of years. But as we get older, there's so many new adventures that are occurring for us. And we try to keep each other updated on those adventures. And we've tried to keep each other in each other's lives as much as we possibly can. But it's been a struggle out here. Like
it's work.
Yeah.
I think
it is.
I think some people don't realize that even any relationship that you're in is work.
Yeah.
Whether it's a marriage, a boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, a friendship, it is work. And like Ajah said, we have consciously worked on making sure we're still updated. That's what brought us back together. Like when we had our tiff, is like something big was happening in Ajah's life. She was getting a sibling. And as somebody who has siblings, I've had siblings my entire life. Ajah was an only child for 20 years. So she did not know. She's like, what? How did? What do you mean I'm about to be a sibling? So that's what brought us back to working on our friendship. Is that she texted me and was like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while. I know we haven't talked in a minute, but this is happening in my life, and I need you. I need to let you know, what's going on. So since then, like Ajah said, we do not talk every day. I might send her 17 TikToks. I do send her 17 TikToks. Does she watch all of them? No, she does not.
You got to work on it.
No,
you got to work on it.
I will not, because if I see it, I'm like, nope, this is how I feel at the time. You're going to get this emotion. But we, like Ajah said, we make sure to carve out time every so often. And whether it's just a 17 things has built up, but we don't have time until April. Oh, I'm gonna save all those 17 things until April, and then in April we just throw up on each other and like, this is what happened in the last 7 weeks. Tell me what happened with you.
Right.
So, and then it's easy just to fall back into our easy banter and talk about random stuff and finding random things to talk about. But we do have to make sure we carve out time. Yeah. And whether it's just a random, like, hey, you want to go to Target? Hey, you want to go to the hair store? Or I'm going here. You want to go? She'll be like, sure. And I had to respect. You also have to find, you have to respect the no. Because there are going to be some times where friendships where they don't want to do anything. And you just be like, nah, not today.
Yeah.
And, I think as a friend also, you have to be comfortable with telling your friend no.
Yeah.
You can tell them no. Don't be like me and it's so afraid to rock the boat. You won't say no. You're not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Or stand up for yourself and stick up for yourself.
Right.
And I had to learn that as the years went by. Like, no, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay. Ajah can attest. I'm okay with saying, no, it can't come. No, I don't want that today. I just want us. And she respects that. Be like, okay, cool. If your friend is in a relationship and they tell you no, your boyfriend doesn't want to come, do not be offended.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing against them. It's nothing against the boyfriend. It's the fact that she wants to spend time with you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, she knows you're going to go back home to, but yeah, she just wants a couple hours of your time.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing, is just respecting each other's space and respecting each other's time and their decisions.
Right.
You have to respect their decisions. There may be decisions that you don't agree with and you're like, okay, cool. Just tell me how that works out.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'm here.
And just always remind them that you're going to be here regardless of who's there.
Right.
If you've cultivated that friendship enough, like I said, we've been stronger than ever.
Yeah.
This happened sophomore year. We got back together. We got back together in junior year. We've been solid from her moving to Charlotte. I was still in Greenville.
Yeah.
I'm in Minnesota for summer. She's in Cleveland. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter how far apart we are. We're still going to be friends regardless. And once you get that into your head, nothing can shake you. Nobody can shake you.
I knew she wasn't going anywhere because when I did find out that my mom was pregnant, which was a really scary time because the only reason why we found out was because she had collapsed at work and we had found out that she had a blood clot in her thigh, and it was really scary. And then the doctor is like, all right, we need you to take a pregnancy test. And my mom was like, girl, that ain't nothing. Okay. And then the doctor comes back in and she was like this cute little Asian woman. She was like, Mrs. Jones, girl, you pregnant.
What?
I laughed for a solid 30 minutes. And literally the first person that popped into my mind was Morgan. Like, and we hadn't talked. I was like, we still were kind of on the outs. And in that moment, I was like, the only person that will understand that this would only happen to us, like only happen to this family, would be her. And so when I felt that and I knew that and I thought that, I was like, yeah, she's not going anywhere. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
You'll be okay.
That solidified us as sisters after that.
Yeah.
I want you to do something for me. I want you to talk on Noah's behalf because you talk.
I was about to ask her in reference to that.
So you guys have intimate conversations, hopefully you're having the real honest conversations. So from his perspective, how do you think he views the relationship? And from him, do you think your guys' relationship was ever a problem?
Noah, well, for the majority of our relationship, we've actually been long distance. Like right when we graduated from college, he was in Durham, I was in Charlotte. Or actually, no, our first year, he went to Miami for an internship over the summer. And so like the entire summer we weren't together. And then after that, we had graduated college. He was in Durham for grad school and I was in Charlotte figuring out my life. And so it was a solid 2-3 years that we had just been long distance. Right. And so a lot of the times if I would say, hey, me and Morgan are doing this, you know, probably don't come to Charlotte this weekend. He would get a little butthurt because he's like, I haven't seen you. Right. Like, this is my time with you, you know? And in the beginning, and I kind of felt prideful when he would do that. It would feel good because in the beginning of our relationship, his friends were very important to him. And I would be that person to be like, no, I want to spend time with you. Like, I don't care about your friends. You see them every day. You live with them. Like, I don't care about your friends. I want to spend this time with you. So when the roles reversed, I was like, yeah, you get it now. You understand where I was coming from. Right. And I kind of felt good about that. Not gonna lie. I was like, ha ha ha, in your face. Not your face. But we've grown to respect each other's boundaries. Okay. And so when he wants to hang out with his friends, it took some time, y'all. It took some time, but I have been able to be like, okay, have fun, be safe, text me when you get back home, I'll FaceTime you, and vice versa. You know, he'd be like, that's totally fine. I'll be here if you need me. If anything happens, just let me know. Right. And so it took us years. And that was like, honestly, one of the biggest problems in our relationship was we were both very possessive at one point. Okay. I was possessive of him, especially in college. Right. Because he was still, you know, I want to go out. I want to have fun. I want to be with my friends. We're in college. And then once we graduated and I started to, you know, have my own life. I'm at work. I'm doing what I'm doing. Right. He was very much so like, no, I want to be with you. Like, we need to spend this time together. We're long distance. I'm only here like every other 2 weeks or every other 3 weeks. We've barely seen each other. Right. And so we've had to really sit down and have conversations like, we can have our own space. You know, we can have our own time with our friends, and we kind of have to respect that. And it's almost like you're not being disrespectful just because you want to be with other people. Right. That's not each other. Right. And I had to understand that because I'm very possessive. Okay. I'm a very possessive person. And so I had to be like, okay, your first instinct is to cuss him out and say no.
That's your first instinct?
That's the first instinct.
That's that Ohio.
It's to cuss him out and be like, how dare you want to see other people besides me 24/7? Right. You know, first instinct is always that. And then I have to be like, you're being psycho. Calm down. He can hang out with other people. Right. And I have to tell him the same thing. I'm like, calm down. We're okay. We've been together. We can grow through this. And so we've both kind of had to go through those growing pains throughout our relationship. Because there were times where he would be like, dang, you about to go out again with your friends? And I'm like, yeah, remember back in 2017?
Not 2017.
We taking it back. She taking all kind of notes.
Back down memory lane. Okay.
It's actually really good that you guys, and I know you got a question. I'm not going to take up your time. But it's actually really good that you guys are having those conversations now, because there's a lot of married couples that's been together for 15, 20 years that's still having that argument, that because they don't understand there has to be a balance. Because I go do something without you does not negate you. Exactly. It doesn't mean that I don't love you less, or it doesn't mean that I don't want to be with you. It doesn't mean that I'm up to something. It just means because we're together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sometimes as humans, we just need a small break from each other. That's all. So the fact that you guys are able to have that conversation now, and you're talking about, going to that next level and taking your relationship to a different plateau, it's a beautiful thing that you guys are having that. Like I said, because there's married couples. Because if we're transparent, in our first few years of marriage, that was one of our biggest arguments, because I am and we've talked about this so many times on the podcast, but my wife and I are polar opposites, because she's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. She's social. She's a social butterfly. She wants to be around people. She wants to go places. She wants to do things. I am fine with sitting on my couch, listening to my records, playing the game. I am good. I am good for 17 hours just doing that. So, and then the times where, and that's the arguments where, I would tell her, babe, you ain't got no friends? Where your friends? Where your girlfriends at? They don't want to do nothing? To the point I'm calling them, yo, y'all come get her. Could y'all come get her, please? And then she used to get offended. It's like, well, why you don't want to be with me? Why you don't want to spend time with me? No, babe, I'm trying to keep from killing you right now. That's all it is.
I think, too, because me and Sanchez were best friends, and because you and Noah were friends first, you tell each other everything. The problem with that is when you get into a relationship, the game changes. Because now I tell you everything, but the person I want to talk about now is you. Right? And I want to be able to articulate it without you taking it personal, right? So I always tell people, whether it's a guy or a girl, you have to keep your friendships, and not a whole bunch of people. If you got one or two solid people, that is all that you need. You keep those solid people, because those solid people in your relationship will keep you from jumping, right? To keep you off the cliff. It'll back be like, girl, that's dumb. Girl, come here. Girl, come here. Or yo, dude, you stupid. Come here. Because what happens is that you've never had a relationship with Noah. You had a friendship with Noah, right? And then you had a relationship with Noah. So you and Noah are growing. You've never had a Noah and Ajah relationship, a Morgan and Ajah relationship. So this is all about growth, right? And how I'm going to grow and how I'm going to make this all work. The part about that is not knowing, right? You don't know where your relationship with him is going. You know where your girlfriend, if you keep her, if she's solid, but you don't know where his and your relationship is going. And so it's always important that you keep the girlfriend or the guy friend. And again, I'll say it again, the part that you said that's going to bless people is it was not intentional. I was so busy growing my relationship because I thought that our relationship was solid, right? And because I thought I had put in the time that surely you would understand. Not even thinking that I'm being neglectful. Not even thinking, oh, I've shunned her. Not even thinking. Now, here's the thing about your relationship that I do like, not knowing Noah a lot, but the fact that y'all have a conversation and he's okay with saying, hey, Morgan can come. Because most boyfriends and most relationships, that is a no-go. Where's she going?
She keep that bitter friend over there.
Because they automatically think that if your friend is single, that she's bitter, she's angry, she's jealous. And that's how they played a part to kind of like keep you guys apart. So for him to be like, sure, she can come. Yeah.
I think what helped us is that we're all in the same friend group.
Yes.
So like I actually have a relationship outside of Ajah with Noah. We talk about football. We talk about Charlotte. We talk about things that we like we have in common. And one of the biggest things we have in common is Ajah. But it was the fact that I have, I can say that me and Noah are friends outside of Ajah, and hear me when I say this. There are a lot of girlfriends out there who say that and want your man. Baby, she know I don't want her man. No. She knows. No. She knows. Like, she know my type. She knows, like, who I am. Right. She know I would never do that to her. Now, there are some friends out there who are shady. So watch your girls. But if you know that your friend would never do that to you, you don't mind that they have a conversation. Like that's something that I don't think you've ever had to be like, nah, Morgan ain't going nowhere. My man, what?
I mean, there's history in our friend group where I know that would never happen.
Yeah. So we're just gonna leave it at that. So, but I mean, yeah, I think that's what helps. If you can cultivate a relationship with the significant other that's not disrespectful, because I don't like that. As long as I'm not crossing a boundary, Aja's okay with me, talking to Noah, because it's a boundary that has to be there. But once you set that boundary, you'll be okay if your man's want to, or if I encroach on her territory, I'm the third wheel. And Noah also knows me, where he knows I'm not going to do that. I'm not bitter. I'm not spiteful. Like, that's just not something I'm going to do. So once you cultivate that relationship, don't just go in either hating him off jump because he's never deserved. Watch, listen, learn. That is what I had to do. I had to internalize everything, because as the best friend, I'll make it go, oh, he ain't deserving. Who is you? Don't look at her like that. Go somewhere, sit down. But once you sit back, stop, watch, and listen, you're gonna see who they really are. And what I've learned is Noah treats Ajah like a queen. Noah bows down to her, and it's not anything that she's done. It's just he loves her that much.
I think that's also part of Mr. Jones a killer.
That too. No, that too. They will never find his body.
Don't play with Papa Jones.
I think her mama went first, though. I feel her mama.
It'll be a collective unit.
Mama gonna come up with the plan. Papa gonna execute the plan.
You know what? But with my dad, he can hear the plan. He'll veer from the plan because he's just that crazy. Like, it was so funny. Before me and Noah got together, I had the flu in ECU, and my dad had to drive to ECU and get me because it was that bad.
Yeah.
And Noah and our really good friend Perry just so happened to be at our apartment at the time. And my dad had already known that Noah liked me. Like, I told them everything. That's just the relationship that we have. And so I told him, I was like, hey, Noah's here. Everybody's here. That's fine. And so Noah was leaving, and my dad and I were in the living room, and I was like slowly dying. And Noah literally saw my dad. He like ran out the door. He was like, hi, Mr. Jones. And like ran out the door. He was terrified. Literally.
Your dad is not a little man, sis.
He's a big man that loves his daughter.
Exactly.
So it's definitely, and that's been not a challenge, actually. I'm really proud of my parents, because I had always thought when I get into my first real relationship, my parents would be overly protective of me.
Right.
But I think because me and Noah did start off as friends, and they met him when we were friends, not coming into like a relationship, they know him.
Right.
And they didn't have like this perspective, like, what are you trying to do with my daughter? It was just like, oh, that's just her little friend, Noah.
Not the little friend.
Yeah,
little friend Noah.
That was it. It was like, that's a little friend. And so that's helped. But the one thing I love about Noah and Morgan is the fact that Noah will ask me, like, hey, how's Morgan doing?
Right.
And you don't get that a lot. Like, sometimes, like, your boyfriend is just like, keep your friends over there.
Right.
And Noah is not like that. He always wants to know, how's Morgan? How's Jasmine? How are your friends doing? Are you seeing them this weekend? Like, what's going on? Or if we're going out and it's like him and his friends, he'll always be like, invite Morgan and Jasmine. He's always opened up that door, because he does know, like, Morgan ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
And so he's kind of accepted that, and he's like, well, this is my friend too now.
I think that's one thing that helped us too, is that, like, I never got that vibe from him, that he's like, nah, dude, to keep her over there. Like, it was never again, it helped that we were friends, but we didn't go into this as me and Noah being friends.
Right.
I go back to saying, when Noah and Ajah started, first started feeling each other out, I wasn't in the picture. So I came in, and it was, hey, my friend Morgan, you've never met, but here she is. She's not going anywhere. Like, after we had that conversation, we just knew we were locked in.
Yeah.
I think too, what you have to remember too, that was very good for you guys, is you didn't talk about Noah in your relationship. Because again, like you said, when you do that, it's very difficult for your best friend or your friend to digest that and then not regurgitate it again once. So just last week you told me this joke, and now y'all kiki cat. You know what I'm saying? Because of being so protective over. Now here's a question for you. When Morgan gets in her relationship, are you going to be okay? Because see, saying it and then dealing with it is two different things. How do you feel about that? Have you ever thought about, like, oh,
yes,
wait.
I have thought about it, and the first thing I tell her is, do not talk to me about him until it's serious.
Okay.
I'm like, keep that, because we've had instances in the past where it's been a topic of conversation. And so my biggest thing is, like, you take all the time that you need to figure out if this is real, if this is serious. And when you're ready and when you're comfortable, then, you know, bring him to me.
Yeah.
Cause
like she
the
mom. Then you can bring him to me. Then bring him to me.
I'm the Godfather.
Let me check him out. Let me see what he's doing.
But I am curious, Ms. Crenshaw.
Yes.
Because I want the family to understand right now it is a choice. This is not because you are a prize and there's a choice.
Yeah.
You're very intelligent. You're very beautiful. You have a great head on your shoulders. This is not because you can't find nobody.
Exactly.
This is a choice that you're choosing right now because there's certain things that you're looking for that they must do before. So with that being said, but looking at their relationship, has there ever been a time when you felt some kind of way about their relationship or felt jealous?
Babe, she ain't even finished. Yes, I have.
Yes.
So what caused you to feel some kind of way? And then how did you work through that?
Two things. One, I think Ajah and I always talked about, because I'm so much more extroverted than she is, I always thought I would be in the relationship first.
Right.
So when it happened, we both were like, what? What world? She said it too. She was like, hey, I didn't think I would be here before you. And I'm like, I never thought so either, because I just had that personality.
And I'm so picky.
She is.
I don't even look at me. Literally.
But I think Noah broke her down, and not in a bad way. He showed her qualities that she wanted.
Right.
You know, people always say you find men who are like your father. You take that how you want, but you always find who has the qualities that make you feel safe, loved, and cherished. Those are the qualities that you find. So when I think with Ajah, with Noah, that's what he showed her. So she was like, I guess I can do it. I guess. 5 years later, here we are. So with me, it definitely, you know, it hurt, not hurt, but it was like, okay, well, God, where's mine at? You didn't set her hers. What's my Prince Charming? And I think that's what led to a lot of my past situationships, is that I was trying to settle, because I was like, I want to be in a relationship too. I want to be cute and cuddle and go on vacations and all this other stuff. And, you know, watching them, I'm like, well, I want that. So I'm going to settle whoever gives me attention, because that's what I want. And that's what led me to being where I am now, where I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm not taking that anymore. I know who I am. My friends have told me who I am. God has told me who I am. My family, I know who I am now. I don't want that anymore. Right. Like you said, I deserve to be cherished, loved, and nourished as well. And until you can give me that, baby, slide into the DMs and that's it. You might get a response, you might not. And I'm not giving you my attention if I don't want to anymore. Before it was like, give me the crumbs. Give me the crumbs of what you can give me.
The love kernels.
Yes, give me the little love kernels. Give me the kernels at the bottom of the popcorn bag.
And I'll take it.
And I'll take it. So
even though it's greasy, and I got bad cholesterol, but I'm gonna take it.
Yes, and after my last situationship, I was like, no, I can't. My last situationship, I was like, I can't do this to myself anymore. Like I lost myself, and Ajah can attest. She watched me lose myself. Yeah. And she's like, you do what you got to do. I'm always here for you. But I know she never wants me to go down that road again.
Never.
So
ever.
It's like, yeah, there were times where I've settled because I want, and you know, for a while, there were like 3 couples in our friendship, and I'm like, I just want to be loved. But I had to learn I gotta love myself first. Yeah. Just because I'm watching other, and I had to also tell myself, I don't know what's going on in their relationship.
Exactly.
They could be real cute and cuddly on the outside, but inside, Sour Patch. Like you never. And that's the one thing with Ajah. I never know what's going on with her. No, she might go, me and Noah arguing, and that's it. If her mood is off, she'll be like, it's not you, it's Noah, don't even worry about it. I said, cool, I'm here if you want to talk. If not, boo, you let me. And then her mood would change. I'm like, okay, they're fine now. So I can always tell by your mood, like what you or Noah are going through, but not even, because it's not like die. It's just like, it's just like, you can feel it. But I think that's, you know, after a while, you know their moods. So yeah, I definitely was like, I want that. Yeah. I want it. Being as I say, being the single friend, it's like, I just want a companion. I just want a companion.
It's not a cat or a dog.
It's not a cat or a dog. or in my interest, my parents. I just want someone else to hang out with. But so that's definitely where it came in.
Well, what's the main thing that we discuss all the time that I tell you? Loneliness will what?
Loneliness make you suffer. My loneliness will make you pick things that you think you want. Like loneliness will blind you.
Yeah.
And that's what was happening. I was so lonely. Especially when I was in Greenville, because like all of my friends were in Charlotte. I was like, I don't have anybody up here. And I was like, I'm just so, I don't know if I was depressed, but I felt like I was probably slipping into that. So she hates to hear me say it, but my last situationship helped because it was, I had companionship. I had something that no one else can give me at the time because you were going through your thing and you were trying to figure out life. And so was our other friends. And one friend was in this and everybody was like, they were all going, we went through that after college separation and it wasn't even a real separation. It's just everybody is drifting off and growing up. So I needed something at the time that they gave me. So I needed that. That is something I can admit that I need. And she can admit that too, as much as we don't, she doesn't like the person. And it's because I did what she, did at the beginning. I told her everything. And we can attest, I shouldn't have done that. Whatever was going on with me should have stayed with me. I told her and my other friend everything.
Well, I have to disagree. You did not tell us everything.
They told their friends everything, and then
she was really, really good about that. She was really good. Like whatever was going on between her and that
person,
Voldemort.
Did the baby say Voldemort?
The one who shall remain nameless.
Okay, the one that should say nameless person.
Literally Darth Vader over
I
here.
can't continue your thought.
She said nothing. And then because that person was really good friends with my boyfriend and his friends, he would tell them everything.
So then she would come back to me and like, this is what I'm hearing. I'm like, but that's not.
Yeah. And then Noah would tell me what's going on with your girl. Like I heard A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? And then I would text her like, get this boy because he is just spilling all the beans about your relationship, stuff that I should not know at all.
Right.
And that's the main reason why I did not like him because you are chatty Cathy over here.
Yeah. Violating.
You're violating, even though you guys aren't in like a relationship or it was a situationship or whatever it was. That's just very disrespectful in my eyes because you are painting this picture about her that is completely false.
Right.
And now you have our friends looking at her in a whole new light.
Right.
And that wasn't fair to Morgan.
Right.
And that's why I said, when you get into your relationship, do not say anything about it. And make sure it is not someone in our friend group.
Right.
I've learned that lesson, so wary.
And so I really did not appreciate that because she does deserve to be cherished. And I was seeing this person, although he helped her in a time where she felt that she was lonely or, by herself or not in a relationship and she needed that attention. I did not appreciate how he went about it, I still don't.
That's that real sisterhood right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's that real sisterhood.
And I was very vocal.
She was
very vocal.
She was. And it's hard as the friend to hear what she's saying when you're in it. So that's one thing. That's another thing that's like, when your friend is telling you something, don't automatically just brush it off because you're sitting in it. Think about what she's saying. It's hard. It's so hard. And that's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, I can't tell her about her man. That's the thought process is I can't tell her about her man, but I can see if I can say something if I see something.
Right.
So, but yeah, she was very vocal and it was very hard to listen to her because while I'm in, I'm like, nah, like I'm fine. What do you mean? But if someone really knows you, like she knows me and she's out of our friend group, she knows me, all my ins and outs, what my triggers are, that's what we cultivated over this last decade. You have to listen and it's hard to listen, but sit with it for a little bit. And know that 9 times out of 10, they're not coming from a malicious intent. They're coming because they love you and they love you so much. They want to tell you some things that you can't see from the outside looking in. Yeah. From a different perspective. Because when you're in it, you just have tunnel vision. Yeah. You find someone who you quote unquote really like because they're giving you things that you think you need at the time, and your tunnel vision is so like that person, and you have earmuffs on it, and everything they're saying is so muffled take the earmuffs off. If they're telling you something, it's because they love you. It's not because it's malicious. It's not because they hate him. It's not because they're seeing some things in you that has changed in a bad way.
Right. Not in a good way.
Yeah. And Morgan is a very vocal person. And I felt like the person that she was with silenced her. And that was not okay.
Yeah.
Like it was literally night and day. And I was like, any other time you would not put up with this. But then I understood, because she was honest. She was like, let me just have this. And I was like, okay. Like I can only say so much. You're in it. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. So I would tell her, be like, do what you have to do, but just know that you deserve so much more.
And then just be there. That was one thing. She was just there when the situation after what happened. Just always be there for that person, because if you're locked in, nothing. You're
exactly.
And men may come and go, but your best friend shouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you've really people have 50-year relationships, and that's that's our main goal is to just keep cultivating this no matter what happens in our life. Yeah. So just be there for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she knew, like, I did not like him, but I would say what I have to say, and I would end it.
Yeah.
Because I would tell her, I'd be like, if you're going to do this, do it. I'm not going to harp on it. You know how I feel. So I'm not going to make you feel even worse. Because I already know she was struggling, like, really bad.
Yeah.
Because she was hearing so many different things from so many different people in our friend groups. And so I wasn't about to be just another person that's, like, beating her down. I was like, you know how I feel. But I understand that for some reason you need this. So I'm going to let you do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And I think as a friend, you have to be able to take a step back.
Yeah.
You have to.
Absolutely.
You can't just be like, girl, you need to leave him. And that's all you talk about when you are together. You don't have to do that. It doesn't help. Because they already know the situation that they're in. They don't need you to constantly harp on it.
Right.
And so that's the first thing I was like, you know how I feel. This is how I feel. And all of us, all of our friends, we were all like, you know how we feel. But if this is something that you need to see through,
see it through. We'll be right here.
For me, what I'm hearing is that one of the ways that you guys have been able to keep your friendship the way you have all these years is that you're honest. But you're not judgmental.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships themselves end. Is that in our trying to protect the person that we love, we end up being very judgmental. And it's more, instead of, okay, let's talk through this. What can we, how can we work through this together? It's, well, you are doing this and you are doing that. And it's more that blame and that finger pointing. And what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, is that even though through your ups and downs, it was never a situation where you were blaming or you were pointing fingers. It was, this is not good for you, but for whatever reason, this is what you need. So I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm still going to tell you the honesty. I'm still going to tell you this is not who you are. This is beneath you. You deserve so much better, but I'm here. And I think if a lot of relationships, more kind of like you said, whether it's a friendship, whether it's marriage, whatever it is, if we come from a less judgmental place and that true support, because I can be because I don't beat you over the head with something, it doesn't mean that I agree with it.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that I'm support. It doesn't mean that I'm an accomplice to it. It just means that I'm gonna say my piece, but I'm gonna let you work through it.
Absolutely.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I like the honesty. I like the friendship. I like the non-judgmental. I like everything that you guys have cultivated and that you've done. Because here's the thing: it's gonna go from you getting married to she getting married. It's going to be like, okay, we're married. Then it's going to be babies if you choose, dogs, cats, or babies, whatever. So then that's another thing that will pull you apart, right? Then after that, there's seasoned parents. Your parents get sick and stuff's happening. That's another issue, right? Then you start getting older. And but if you keep your foundation like you guys have in the core for those big things or those things like, I'm here for you regardless. Because the fact that you said, I have not talked to Morgan. But the moment that I felt that my mama was pregnant, I needed that friend. I didn't need someone who might have known me, could have known me. I need the core friend who knows me through and through. And then you said to yourself, you know what? No, she's not going anywhere. right? Like she's not going anywhere, right? That's the stuff that make real friendships, right? Because I don't think just because I taught you every day don't make you my friend.
No.
You could be Miss Jenkins, the nosy neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like you may be an associate that I taught all the time, because I think sometimes we love to throw the words friends around and we have to be super careful. I just told Morgan all the time, everybody's not your friend.
Yeah.
Right? When she was little, my friend, you ain't got no. At one point, I felt so bad.
Yeah, she told me I had no friends. I only had associates.
She had associates.
So when I brought you home,
you had no friends.
Because I was and after that, it was very selective. It was very like, they can't be my parents.
I don't. And when I say this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful for everybody else, but to me, you still only got one friend.
Yeah.
It's Asia.
And that's the crazy part. That's
only we asked about. That might not be good.
Asia's
That's the only
family. It's like you only got one friend. Baby, you're the only one who's ever been to my house.
You know what? Not even so much as that. Here's how I knew. And I'm gonna put your business in the street for a second. I'm putting your business in the street. Here's how I knew.
Oh God! No.
Yep, I already know where this is going.
She was your friend, and she was gonna be your friend forever. Because when your little red self came in my room,
right
at like midnight 30,
almost in tears,
talking about, Daddy, we gotta go get Asia.
Go get my friend.
And you stood flat-footed.
I did.
Never back down.
Never back down.
The fear was in your eyes, though. But you never backed down. Was like, Daddy, we got to go get Asia. She's in a bad situation, and we got to go get her.
Yep.
And I jumped in my car.
Yep.
And went to Steak and Shake. And had
and you didn't even know I was coming.
I did it.
And scared to death some little dudes.
Text you.
You texted me. No.
Walter texted
the friend that was with her texted me and was like, "Hey, Asia's in a bad way. I can't get a hold of her parents. Yeah. I can't get her home. Like something's up." I said, "Bet." That's all I had. Because I knew that you were my first true real friend.
And that's how I knew at that point.
That's how we knew we were
stuck
locked
with you
in.
Yeah,
we weren't going anywhere. After that, it was no holds barred. That was it.
She was like, Daddy, and he looked like, what? And she was like, don't ask me no questions.
I literally was like, don't ask. I literally was like, don't. And it was a long day because we just had our monthly meeting, and I was like, do not ask. I gotta go. We have to go.
Yeah,
I have to go right now. And that was the very first time I was like, nope, she ain't going nowhere now.
That was the first time
she can't go anywhere now. I got too much dirt on her.
When I saw y'all in the door at Steak and Shake, my drunk self was like, no. It was so bad.
Yep. And then I knew it was serious when her parents knew I wasn't going anywhere, because her parents called me. It was like, thank you so much for getting her home. And that's when they knew no matter what happened, you were going to be good with me. Regardless.
There have been cases where I've wanted to go on vacations with other people, and my parents have been like, is Morgan going? I'm like, no. They're like, no. Literally, they're like, we need to know that there's gonna be somebody with you that will protect you, that will have your back, no matter what. And if she's not gonna be there, you can't go. 20 years old, no, you're not going. You're not going. I'm just like, okay,
not gonna happen, baby. Not gonna happen.
One of the things that you touched on, I think, it's sometimes, when I say this, I'm not being sexist, but it's hard for certain women to understand that this type of relationship sometimes. But what you described is most men's relationship when it comes to best friends, where I can literally go 3 years without talking to you. But you are still my best friend. And the moment you call, we pick up right where we left off. Because you really don't, once you have that bond, like I know you guys can go years without talking, but that bond is there, that once you talk, you pick up right where you left off. And I think we get it confused because somebody's in your face all the time.
Don't make them your friend.
Don't make them your friend.
Don't make them your friend.
I'm sorry.
Don't make them your best friend.
They throw you under the bus in a heartbeat.
It's, you have to, and what I love about you two ladies is that you understood from the beginning that to do this, it's going to take work. We both have to work at it. We're not going to always agree. But what we agree on is that we love each other. And what we agree on is that we will always have the best interest. Because what I love, the conversation that you just had, what I loved about what you were saying is that you loved her enough to allow her to make that mistake. And that's where a lot of people don't do that. Is because the only way you're really going to learn from it is that you have to go through it sometimes. And I'm glad you were there for her doing that, because that's something, and I'm going to take my host hat off for a moment. that's something she couldn't have a conversation with us about.
Yeah, she couldn't.
Because I would have been in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you would.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I would have been in
Prison.
jail because I would have taken on to Greenville, and Mr. Man would have never seen the light of day again.
That's crazy.
I'm just, and that's just,
No, I know.
yeah,
I
that's
know.
just being
Yeah,
honest.
I know.
The straight trunk. The straight trunk.
Yeah.
He in the
And
trunk.
And she did too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Trunk.
And I need people to
providing
understand.
alibi.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I need people to understand. I am a man of God. I love my Lord and Savior, but there are certain things I will do time for, and I'll do. And me and God will have a conversation on the back end, and my family is one of them. So the fact that she had you there during that time as a father, I am so appreciative of. That, like you said, you loved her enough and cared about her enough to have those hard conversations with her, but still loved her enough. If you got to make this choice, okay, make it, but understand when it goes wrong, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Here. And the fact of the matter that you know that regardless of whatever situation you in, that Morgan got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to talk, but I know who I'm calling. If I want to get got, I'm going to call Morgan.
If
right?
she ever needs to bury a body,
We say that all the time.
we literally be like,
That's how the Crenshaws judge our friendship.
no, for
Yeah,
real.
we
If
really
I
do.
ever have to bury a body and
Yeah.
really get into some trouble, if I came to my parents today and be like, so I ran over somebody, and they'll go,
Where you
well,
at?
the question, well, where you at? And the first question, for who? I did it for Asia. Well, let's go get the body.
Okay.
You want to get the top or the rope?
Look,
What you
and
getting?
I know some family members, y'all may be cringing right now, but that's how we gauge how much we love you.
Clutching they person.
When the Crenshaws love you, they
Love
love you
you.
with their entire heart and soul.
I got it.
So
Yeah,
Asia
I got it.
learned that
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
all of us, and
Yeah.
she knows like if there's anything that she ever needs from any of us, and I can say that about the Joneses.
Oh,
if
yeah.
any,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
if I
Great people.
ever. I remember whenever we were going back in Greenville, if I told Daddy, well, I want to come home this weekend, but Asia's parents are coming, they said, oh, cool, you ride on back with, and then it was, well, cool, well, I'll take y'all back. That was one thing. Or like Papa Jones, like they always will ask me, like, you good? You need anything? Like, you need us? Like, because me and Dad can ride at dawn.
Yeah, 'cause that's another thing that
Literally.
there's not many people that I trust with
Yeah.
my most valued possessions.
Yeah.
And Papa
She
Jones
always
is-
at your house.
Yeah,
She
Papa
always
Jones
at
is
your
one. I'm
house.
like, I don't have any concerns
Yeah.
whatsoever, because I know that when she's there,
She's safe.
she's safe. She's treated as a daughter. The
Yeah.
same love and
Yes.
the same protection he has for his daughters, he's going to have for mine.
Yeah.
And that's appreciated. And that's, once again, that's where that friendship comes in.
Yeah.
That building, that cultivating. It's a family. It's a village. And
Yeah.
I love that about you guys.
The crazy part is so weird to say that you guys are friends, though. It's kind of because I see y'all more as sisters more than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, it's
so
family.
so when you, I mean, I know there's a sisterhood, but it is a familyhood that is so strong, right? And so, even today when y'all came a little bit earlier, but we're not gonna judge it. We're not gonna judge it,
Sorry.
Morgan.
That was my fault.
And I was
Well, that's
in
because
here.
somebody was doing 100 on the
I was
She
not.
was.
I
She
was
was
just excited
speeding.
to be with my friend, and we got
No,
to talking,
she
and we
was
talked about the
speeding.
babies, and
And
Yeah.
she was
we
speeding.
lost track of time.
We really did.
The word was speeding.
I was
Say
not.
it how you say it. But I was in the wiping the counter, and I heard you guys, and I came in there because I heard you guys, and I was just dying laughing. I was like, that's the 16-year-old Morgan and Asia, right? Like, we used to come spend the night, and y'all would always be laughing. And I'm like, go to bed. Even though
Nah.
Asia can't hang long.
No.
Bless her heart.
No.
By 11 o'clock, Asia sleep, y'all. I don't know what kind of
to this
sleep
day.
over she be doing, but 11 o'clock the bed. I go in there thinking they're going to be kicking Asia in the bed, covers over.
Morgan's still upstairs watching the movie.
by
To this
herself.
day, she's still the same. Oh my god, it has not changed. But now we kind of fall asleep around the same time in the same movies. But we both know if we hitting that blink scrolling on our phone, go ahead and throw a scare movie so we can fall asleep.
Yeah,
go
'cause
ahead,
y'all-
because
'cause
we
y'all
know
gonna be
it's
asleep.
coming.
Listen, we don't have kids, but we have kids.
But we got kids.
What kids?
We don't have kids, but we got Asia got a whole kid.
I have a whole
She has a whole 5-year-old.
in these streets.
Yeah, your little sister.
Oh my god!
And then for me, Auntie mode is real out here with a 3-year-old. Ooh, a 3 and a 9-month-old. Ooh, Auntie, even if it's all 3 of us, we be tired.
Yes.
Yes.
So if it's silent for too long, I'm
asleep.
knocked out.
Not when you wake up at 6:45 on the right talking about Auntie, the sun is up. No, it's not. The sun is still sleeping.
Hello, Sunny. It's
How
Sunny.
are you? Great. No, but I'm not. My eyes still got. Please go back to bed.
No, the
not
best
season
thing
yet.
is for me is I thought I was a hard sleeper. Not anymore, because I hear my door open and I hear Asia, can I sleep with you? 5 o'clock in the morning, can I sleep with you? And it's not sleeping. It's, can I get your phone to watch videos?
That's really what she means. That's really.
Can I watch Disney Plus? And I'm like, I have work in the morning.
But sure, because I love you.
Nope, not with kids.
What would be your final thought to friends who are like decade like you?
Yeah.
One's in a relationship, one is not by choice. And what would be the last thing that you would tell them?
It can be done. It can definitely be done. Don't throw away everything you have cultivated because of a relationship, because someone else, you know, that they have something that you don't have at the moment. Because I'm going to say something that you always tell me, your time is coming. And make sure you give yourself and you give that other person grace. And anything they're doing is never malicious.
Yeah.
You know, it's never intentional. It's just something that happens. Everybody goes through growing transitions. You can't take everybody in the transition period. But once you have reached the point that you're there, that's when you can come back.
Exactly.
So just be there. Just be in the wings and just know that if it's true and it's real and it's love and it's from your heart, they're not going anywhere.
How about you, Ajah?
The biggest thing that I take away from it is something that Papa C and Shea said. Don't be quick to place blame. And that resonated with me because I actually was talking about that at my job with my clinical director. And we were having a discussion and she was like, so many people are quick in any situation. We have to blame someone.
To make it make sense.
It's somebody's fault. Whatever situation we're in, it is someone's fault that this is happening to us. When in actuality, we can just sit down. We don't have to put blame. We can just talk about the situation. Why is this happening? How did this happen? And where can we go from here?
Right.
And that is so important in a friendship, whether the other person's in a relationship, whether you're both single, whether you're both in a relationship. Whatever's happening, do not place blame on that other person.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, even though you're best friends, you don't know what they're going through in that moment.
Yeah.
And so whatever situation you guys may be in that time, talk it out, work it out.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be somebody's fault in that moment.
That's good.
And so that's the biggest thing for me.
Y'all so intelligent and stuff. Y'all so intelligent.
They smart ladies out
They
here.
some more, baby. They
What's your final thought?
Actually, I don't have a final thought. I just wanted to leave it to them today. Honestly, I know you're going to be like, baby, you're going to have a final thought.
That's not going to happen.
It is.
Because I'm going to say something. You'll be like, oh, yeah, because I want to say. But fine, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I have nothing, baby.
Okay.
I'm just super proud of them. I'm super excited to have watched you guys grow.
Yeah.
Thank you for having this conversation with us. It's going to help so many people that believe that it's not possible, that they have to cut somebody off or they have to choose when you really don't have to choose, right?
It's just a balance of it.
It's a balance of it. Or not even, I won't even say balance, because the word we always use is rhythm. Finding your rhythm, right? Because when you try to balance something's going to fall
like a
between
final
the
thought
cracks.
to me.
It's not.
But go ahead. Finding your rhythm. Go ahead.
Please no finding your rhythm. You guys found a rhythm that works for you. It may not work for everybody, but it works for your relationship. So that's what I like. And that wasn't a final thought.
Sound like a final thought to me. Sound final thought-ish.
Did it really, baby?
They said to me.
Final
so my final
thought-ish.
thought is going to be actually really simple.
You always kill me with this simple.
It
but
is
be
really
so deep.
simple.
But
It's
go ahead,
actually
baby.
to piggyback off of something Ajah said. It's watch what you say in your anger. Because I don't care how many apologies you give.
Yeah.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
And we have a tendency of getting angry at someone, and then we want to vent, and then we go to the people that we love the most, and then we say all these things about this person.
Yeah.
They never forget.
Nope. They do not.
They don't. They don't forget.
Don't forget.
And you said all this in anger when some of it you meant, some of it you didn't. And now you've tainted a relationship that didn't need to be tainted because you were saying things in anger.
Yeah.
So my final thought is really simple. Just watch what you say in anger.
Yeah.
See?
Simple.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is always because
I'm so happy.
what's crazy is that Ajah's always talking about, I'm so quiet, I don't really talk until you put a microphone in front of
She
her.
on this mic, boy.
And then at that point, she out here being Barbara Walters at that point. I love it. Miss Crenshaw, thank you once again for bringing your perspective to
Thank you.
the
Thank you for having
podcast.
us.
I understand why the family loves you.
Oh,
thanks.
I understand why they do.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You're so welcome. You transparent. Both of you ladies are super transparent.
Very much so.
Y'all were transparent and real and not trying to. You know you love each other when you ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing to each other.
This is
what it is. This is what it was, and this is what it is.
And if it's real, these are conversations you've had before. So it's not, I don't think there's anything new we had.
Yeah.
We were like, we're not looking at each other like, oh, we gonna talk after that. We both were like, nah, we kind of knew our feelings and everything. Yeah.
So, family, we thank you for listening.
Thank you, family.
Thank you.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, whether it's Google Podcasts, whether it's iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. Of course, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, all of the Crenshaw Corner. And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.